I think it's recording. Maybe. Yep, there we go. My button wasn't showing record. All right. I'm so excited that you're on.
Hey,
Wait for a few people to get on. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about coaching. I have Lizzy with me. I'm really excited for you guys to kind of hear a little bit more about what we do as coaches. I have Lizzy who's going to share her story. She's a newer coach. She's been loving the workouts. I'll let her talk on that. I do want to just kind of keep it to the basics of like what coaching is about, what we do, how we earn, but not get y'all too confused. So if you think of anybody that would love this call, that you think this would make a great fit for, feel free to send them the recording. The recording will be posted. So just ask whoever invited you to this call to get the recording. We're really, really glad to have you here. So we're just going to talk basics of what a Beachbody coach does. I've been coaching for 5 years. My name is Bree. I do this solely from home. I'll get a little into my story later. What does it mean to be a coach? What do we do? Not too in depth. I don't want to scare anyone, but we will kind of talk the basics. So what is coaching? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Tony Horton, P90X, Insanity, Shaun T, Shailene Johnson. So we are the #1 at-home fitness company. We have a dense nutrition shake. We're the creators of Shakeology. We've got fitness gear, like a whole apparel line. We've got workout supplements and nutrition products. We've got bars. We've got all of it. So as a Beachbody coach, you get a website. Very simply, you earn a portion of sales made on all those items. It's a company that's been around for 20 plus years. So a lot of people I hear all the time, like, oh, it's, these companies come and go. We have created a solid structured business that's been around for 20 plus years. So we just celebrated that last summer, our birthday, 20-year anniversary, birthday, whatever. So Beachbody is the whole picture. What I love about this brand and company is we're not just one product. We're not just trying to peddle one diet. We get to share a whole lifestyle. So we are fitness, nutrition, support, which equals success. It's a balanced approach. We live healthier lifestyles. We're human. We live our lives, and we show that it's not a quick fix, that it's just changing little health priorities, focus, and making this a lifestyle. So that's kind of what Beachbody engulfs, is nutrition, support, and fitness. So all of it together. I will go into my story a little bit. I'm just going to move this over. I don't know, my recording thing keeps stopping, so hopefully it's recording for y'all. But I grew up way back, like I'm 29 years old, so I grew up homeschooled background. Both my parents were missionaries, and just very religious, very structured, very like at church every day. Didn't have a lot of friends, like outside my 2 sisters and brother. I resented my parents so much for homeschooling me. It's ridiculous. Did not like it at all. And I kind of was the one that rebelled. So young teens, I started to sneak out. I started to get into the party world. I was using drugs recreationally as early as 14. And as soon as I could move out of my parents' house, I did. I literally left, didn't look back, had zero relationship with them. I just remember Friday night, I was like, peace out, 18, bye. Didn't talk to them for an entire year. Which, of course, being a young woman who was very, very unsure of herself, very lacking confidence, I got right into a really bad relationship. I dabbled in drugs and alcohol, and it got to the point where I was using that to help fix severe anxiety, depression, and I was in an abusive relationship. But I felt stuck because I had no family, no friends. That person was my entire world. They were who I lived with. I was stuck. And so fast forward, I worked bartending jobs. I was doing retail. I never went to college. I barely graduated high school. When I had moved out, I was in my senior year, and being homeschooled, I just finished a few classes at the local high school to barely scrape by. And then the idea of college terrified me. I had no idea what I wanted to do. No idea that how I was going to afford it. I was terrified of student loans. I grew up being told credit cards, debt, no go. So I was like, well, there's no way I can afford it. So just jumping into work, and then having this abusive relationship just beat me down. So it did come to an end. thank goodness someone got involved and shut it down. Sorry, my computer's dinging. I don't know what that is or how to turn it off. But I did eventually get out of that relationship, but just because I was out of it didn't mean that my mindset had shifted. I was really hard on myself. I hated my body. I struggled with eating disorders. Alcoholism, like, I just turned to alcohol. I was really like just an emotional wreck. I would go to work, I would come home, I would drink. And with my eating disorders, I was eating maybe twice a day. I weighed 87 pounds. I just had zero self-confidence. I allowed guys to just, fill that cup of what I thought I needed. And I just became more empty and empty and empty. But I did have a bartending job. I was 20 years old, or 19 and a half, 20 years old, and met a new guy. I was so afraid to date, to be with anybody. I had finally just gotten out of this relationship. And so we were friends for a little while, kind of hung out. It was never exclusive, but after about a year and a half of hanging out, we got more serious, really liked each other. I freaked out. I think he freaked out too. We both decided we were going to just mutually maybe not be as exclusive as it had been. We were like, let's take a break. Like, neither one of us want marriage. A week later, I found out I was pregnant. Terrified me, but I was like, this is the thing. This is what I need to change my life. Like, I can't drink anymore. I am going to get out of the drugs. Like, I was smoking up until I found out I was pregnant at 14 weeks. So I was like, this is what's going to turn it around. I'm going to work. I'm going to find a house. At the time, I was renting a bedroom with 5 other people that were partying and in drugs and alcohol. I was like, I need to get out of this. I can't raise a baby here. So I was working 2 jobs, found a house that I could barely afford rent in. Terrified still to talk to the dad about moving in together. I was like, I don't want to be left high and dry. I'm going to do this myself. So I was barely affording rent in that house. Scared and terrified of pregnancy, because what girl is like, oh yay, I'm so excited to gain a bunch of weight and lose my body and all that. So after having her, fast forward again, her father just kind of stuck it out with me every day, taking it a day at a time. He finally was like, let's do this together. I want to be in this with you. He was very supportive of knowing that I was just super standoffish, but he kind of pushed his way in. He told me, I remember him moving in about my 7 months in of pregnancy, and he was like, I think it'd just be better, maybe just easier if I lived here when the baby comes. I think that's how he approached it. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that would make sense. So instead of hey, we should live together, it was more like, this would just be a great option if we were just both in the same home. So fast forward to having her, I was hit with postpartum depression the second she was born. I didn't want to hold her. I didn't want to see her. I was in severe pain. A 32-hour labor and delivery, no meds, 3 hours of pushing. Y'all moms get it. It was just terrifying. And I hated her in the beginning. I look back now and it sucks. And nobody was like, oh, maybe this is depression. I literally did not. I was like, I just didn't know what I was feeling. So 6 months into motherhood, that mom gene, that oh, I'm so excited to be a mom and change my life, I was just miserable. I was isolated. I didn't have friends. Erin went back to work. And here I was in this house with this baby that I didn't have a connection with. And I struggled really hard. I turned to social media, Facebook. I was like, I'm going to just find some inspiring quotes and follow people, and maybe it'll make me feel better. So I found a mom. She had just shared a post about her story, battling postpartum depression, going back to work, and having found this community that helped her lose the baby weight and get through postpartum depression. I was like, oh my God, she's speaking to me. This post literally is like, hi Bree, my name's this is my story. You need this. I was petrified to work out. I'm the girl that was like, I want to lose weight, even though I lost the baby weight. I hated my body. She reached out to me a few times. I had liked a couple of her posts. And I know some of you watching are like, oh yeah, I've gotten that message and I've just pretended not to see it. That was me. I was like, no, I'm going to do this quick fix, this little gel kit that I had bought and some weird diet pills. That's what I'm going to do. I was nursing, bought the stuff. And then the girl was like, hey, yeah, you're nursing. You probably shouldn't do that. So I was like, depressed again. I had just spent this money on this diet that I was going to do. So she reached out again. She's like, girl, listen to this call. So much like you're watching this video, I called in. It was like dial in, and it was this call that I listened to, and she talked about her story and talked about how this business has completely transformed her life, how she was earning an income, she was working on her fitness and health goals, had gotten through postpartum depression. I was like, I need that, but I'm terrified of what that means, and I'm going to have to make a change. I hung up the call. It was like, yeah, I can't afford that. I don't want to do that. But then I remember literally a week later, she had invited me to listen to another recording. I was putting my baby down. I had a sports nursing bra on and volleyball shorts that were too tight on. And I went and laid Sophia down, and I walked through her bedroom. And I remember seeing that little crappy full-length mirror on the door. And I looked in the mirror and just started shredding myself to pieces. I hated my body. I had no confidence. I was isolated. I just reminded myself that I had no friends. Like, who would ever love this girl with this muffin top and these stretch marks and this saggy skin? And like, I just looked at her and was like, I cannot give this child everything she needs. And if I don't want to pass down this history of body dysmorphia and eating disorder and just terrible self-worth, I need to make the change. I'm not going to be able to tell her to live her life to her fullest and have confidence if I myself am walking this walk. I went out to the living room, got my phone, texted this person, messaged her, and was like, I'm going to get my boyfriend's credit card out. He's like, fine, like, I'm just going to do this. I need this. And then I signed up, and an hour later, I was like panicking how I was going to afford it. I was like, okay, you said I can turn this into a business. What do I do? So she walked me through it. You get a team, you get support, and I haven't looked back since. 5 years in, just recap, I've been through 2 more pregnancies, which were healthy, way fitter, way better mental state. I did struggle with postpartum after both of them, but I have like a healthy mindset around, okay, here's what I dig into. I had a community that was supportive of when I was feeling that low, that they just kind of like encouraged me and reached out to me and lifted me up even when I was feeling like I was struggling. And so I had that community, and I was able to grow a business around just sharing my story, day to day, realistic of where I was at, what I was doing, how I was choosing to like stay positive. And so 2 more pregnancies, 2 more postpartum journeys. I have 3 little ones. I was able to leave my job about 8 months into the business. I hustled like a boss. I walked in there and fired my boss to leave retail. I was ecstatic because I was so sick of my daughter wanting the babysitter over me because she spent more time with her. I now have brought my spouse, I say husband, we've been together 10 years. He just came home as of January. We worked this together. He was working bar management and was just burnt out. He'd been doing it for a really long time. And so we hustle in this business together now. We get to make coffee and pick our kids up from school together. We get to take midday bike rides with our little one. We have a 1-year-old still at home. The other 2 are in preschool and 1st grade. I have earned in this business more than I ever would have earned in retail. I've helped Aaron come home from a job that he hated. And now we have this community of badass babes who are doing it too. Hence Lizzy being on this call and going to share her story. I know sometimes it can be hard to like hear somebody that's 5 years in and be like, that will never be me. And so it's nice to hear somebody starting, like everybody starts somewhere. So it goes to show we've brought our team to the 0.01% of the company. So if you think this is saturated, it's not. Girls are coming in and crushing it this year, just killing this business. So I loved that it brought people into my life that were like-minded. I love that girls that were not just okay with good anymore wanted great and were willing to work for it. I loved that mindset. I loved that it was people that weren't turning to drugs and alcohol, that weren't negative, that wanted that self-positive reinforcement every day in this community. So I just shared my journey. I shared every single day using the products, using the workouts, using the community, and shared that with other people to encourage and uplift them and help them do this as well. So we have Lizzy. Lizzy's going to share a little bit about her story. She's got an awesome story. I will mute myself so that there's no feedback. But Lizzy, take it away. You share a little bit about how you came to be a coach.
Okay, well, I don't really know where to start, but I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a stepdaughter who's 11, a 3-year-old girl who's in preschool, and a almost 1-year-old in about a week, a little boy. But I have never been a super fitness fanatic or anything, but I've always had a bunch of people around me who love to work out, who love fitness, who go to the gym, who eat really healthy, but that was just never me. I was always the skinny girl, no muscle tone, nothing. I could eat whatever I want, wouldn't gain a pound, but I just didn't, I would get made fun of for being so skinny during high school, middle school, all of that. Fast forward, I met my husband at the end of my senior year in high school, and he had a daughter on the way. And a month after I started dating him, his daughter was born. Her name is Lexi, and I've been in her life ever since the beginning, just as long as he's been there. And then I decided, well, we got pregnant together, and we had a little girl. But during that entire pregnancy, I had hyperemesis. I was throwing up every single day. It didn't matter what time of day it was, nighttime. I couldn't eat a full meal for the life of me. I was only weighing in around 110 pounds, which was not normal for me. I was normally up to like 125, but I just was losing weight as I was going through my pregnancy, which was not healthy at all. Just couldn't keep anything down. And then finally gave birth to her, and then I had an appetite back. I ate everything in sight. I had an obsession with coffee cakes. I would go through literally a box a day, if not more. It was kind of ridiculous. But
I'm trying to remember. Did
yes,
you?
and I nursed for 16 months with my first one.
I think people forget, like, people are like, oh, the pregnancy cravings. And I'm like,
yes,
breastfeeding cravings,
yes,
top that times 200.
And they always say, you'll lose your weight faster when you're breastfeeding, but that was not the story for me. I gained.
Like, the mindset is like, oh, I'm feeding a human. I'm just going to eat all of this food because it'll come out in the milk. Like, maybe these coffee cakes will just magically melt through the milk.
Exactly. No, that didn't happen, unfortunately. But within literally 5 months, I had gained 47 pounds and did not even recognize myself. My husband took a picture of me, and I, for a second, didn't realize who it was. And my face was so much rounder. My whole body was just rounder. And I started picking myself apart, just like you did when you saw yourself in the mirror. I didn't like who I saw. I wasn't giving myself any positive vibes towards myself, nothing. And I decided, I needed a change. My brother-in-law was dating a girl, and Bree had happened to do a photo shoot with this girl. And I saw Bree in the photo shoot, and I was like, dang, she's got abs. She has 2 kids. She's killing it. Like, she looks great. And so I went to your Facebook page, Bree's Facebook page and Instagram, and saw, like, she does these workouts every day. And then I got in contact with her, and she says that she does this for her income. Like, this is how she makes money for her family and takes care of them. And I was really interested in that. And so I went and ordered the Core de Force workouts without even going through her at first. And then I was like, wait a second, I connected with her. I want her to be my coach. And so I messaged her and asked her if she would be my coach. And from there we went, and I was doing the workouts and then doing a little bit of the coaching, but then kind of just fell off, never hit Emerald or anything. I just kind of fell off. And then we had another child, and I worked out through that whole pregnancy until I just couldn't anymore. And it was I still had hyperemesis, but it was a much healthier pregnancy than the last time. And I know it's because I drank the shakes and I did the workouts, and it just helped release all those good endorphins. And so then I started, Bree would message me and ask me, you got this, like, you can do this, why not you, all of that. And I always watch Bree. I mean, I watch her stories every single day, and she's extremely motivating. And I got that little kick in me that just wanted to start coaching again. And so I signed up again, and she, within that week, I think, took me to the first Super Saturday.
Yeah, it was like literally, I feel like 4 or 5 days, and I was like, hey, do you want to road trip to Des Moines?
Yeah. And she asked me to go to Super Saturday. I went, and I absolutely loved what I saw. I love the community of women who are so like-minded. They push you, they encourage you, they lift you up, they help you with, you know, if you have issues or problems, there's always someone there that you can talk to. And that's something that I absolutely love. And I think everyone could use a little bit of that in their life. I went Emerald, and I think it was just a couple weeks after I had signed up. And my goals would definitely be to, I've noticed that my children, they definitely have been looking at me during my workouts. They join me during my workouts. My 11-year-old, she loves to do the workouts with me. This last weekend we had her, and she was doing my workouts with me. And then my little girl, Penelope, she loves to do the workouts and mimic everything that I'm doing. And then even my little 1-year-old, he will do little yoga poses.
I love
and
that.
It's very cool to see that they really are watching you. And I love that they want to do it with me. I don't, they just do it. It's not something that they really even think twice about. They just want to do it. It's fun to them. I also, I want to be able to support my husband. He's alongside my husband. He's always been the sole financial supporter in our family. I've had jobs on and off. I live with super high anxiety and depression, and it's always been such an issue for me to keep a job. And when I saw Bree, how she can do this, make an income, she stays home with her kids, she's the one raising her kids, and I just thought that, that's something I totally would love to do. And I have dreams in this business to make a great income, to take my children on the trips I've always wanted to take them on, give them the great experiences that I think that they deserve. And hopefully, me and Bree just talked last night about how I want to buy our first house with my husband. We don't even look, and how I just thought, it was never in my reach just yet. But, she encourages me to go look, see what, what's out there. It'll light a fire under your ass, and, this is what I want. This is what I can have, and I have a super supportive husband who is all in this with me. He wants to see this blow up, and he wants to see me do really well in it. And I think that's extremely important, to have someone behind you who supports you in what you're doing. And I have that, and I'm so grateful. And I can't wait to see where I can take this business, because I know that the girls in this business are the people I want to be around. They're very like-minded, and it's just a very positive community.
Yeah, I love that. And I think too, your story just goes to show so many people, I dove into this, and day one was I want this as a business, and focused on that. And then there's the coaches that are like, I'm going to dive in. I'm terrified, but your consistency has never wavered. You've always just plugged into knowing that being proof and showing up first. And I think that's the same thing, with our kids. We can say all day long, eat your vegetables, but if we as adults are oh, I hate vegetables, right, why do we expect our kids to do it? So same thing with me with Sophia. It was I can tell her to be confident and tell her she's beautiful, but if I myself am ripping myself to shreds, how can I expect her to not pick up on that? They pick up on so much and are so impressionable that if mommy's saying, oh, good is enough, settling is enough, this house is fine, which good is fine, good is okay, but I want my kids to not just be oh, well, it's fine, it's okay. I want them to be no, I remember mom fought like hell. I remember she was on her computer, and that's okay. That, I don't want my kids to see me sitting around. I was right. Oh, I feel I have to sacrifice family time and this and that. And I'm I worked my business, full-time job. Aaron worked full-time, and I would bring the kids home. Now 3 kids, he was working. I had a brand new baby, my 3rd baby. And I was I stayed up late and worked this business, and I had to get my ass out of bed before the girls got up. And, I think that dedication speaks volumes. My kids see me on calls. My kids see me in this community. My kids get to meet this team of motivational people. They see, you know, what's happening and why we're doing it. And we explain to them, like, you know, we put goals as a family on the fridge. Like, we took our 2 older ones on a cruise in the spring. That would have never happened. Like, me working retail, Aaron working bar management, springtime is wedding season. Like, he wouldn't have even been able to take it off, and we wouldn't have been able to afford it. Not my boss or his boss was not going to be like, hey, we think you work really hard and you really hustled in your goals this year. We want to give you a trip. Like, that would have never happened. And the fact that I was diving into this and just even like hitting minimum goals for myself and was able to have my girls experience a cruise, I'm like, that was not in our realm of possibility when I had my first daughter. Like,
That's amazing.
debt, people think they're good, but they're using credit cards or you're barely getting by. And I remember just being excited to go into the grocery store and like not pick the store brand of peanut butter because we really like Jif better. Like, I didn't want to worry about the 68 cents that I spent, but so many of us are there. And I was like, I don't want to say, yes, I want to say no to my kids. I say no all the time, but I don't want to tell them that they can't explore dance because I can't afford it. Or I don't want to say no, you know, to that, to whatever, when it's their life. Like, I have 3 girls, I got college funds and weddings to plan. Like, I want more than good. And we talked about that a lot last night. Her and I were chatting on a one-on-one. So anybody listening to this call that feels this tug in their heart that's like, I am grateful and blessed with the life I have, but I know I need more. I know that I deserve more. I know that I'm going to fight for more. I just want more. And whatever that pull is, this business has given me that opportunity to have that more, to fight for something that I knew working retail was never going to get me. I was never going to have even written down on a piece of paper that I was going to be a millionaire. Like, working retail, that would have never happened. My income wasn't going to compound. It wasn't like my boss was going to show up and give me a raise or a bonus because of good effort. Like, it wasn't ever going to be the case. My job had a cap. And that's what I loved about this, was I had something on the side that my effort directly impacted the goals that I had.
Yeah.
And the community, like this badass community of people that pull me out. Like, I struggle with anxiety and talk about it on the daily. And I know you struggle with like the similar, like just that panicky anxiety.
Yes. Yeah.
Social anxiety. Like, drop the kids off and I get sweaty palms. Like, somebody's going to talk to me.
Oh my gosh. Every day I drop her off.
Like,
I feel the same
maybe
way.
they're old enough to just go in by themselves.
I know.
But this community. So, I do want to recap. So as a coach, you get started. The only cost to sign up is what you want to invest in as far as your health fitness journey. So the products, we both use the dense nutrition shakes for our health because I do not get enough veggies in. Like, just don't. A, because of time, and B, because who wants to eat spinach every day? It's not my jam. I like a salad here and there, but anyway. So I use the shakes. I love the pre-workout. I cannot get enough of it. I love it for my workouts. I feel like I push harder. I use it to clean the house. Like, in the afternoons, I shake it up in my shaker cup and use energy. For anybody who's ever started a workout, they know that they're sore. Like, we have muscle recover. We got all the things. So whoever invited you to this call, you can reach out to the coach and kind of be like, okay, here's my goals. This is what I want to get started with on my own journey. Because number one, consistency in your journey is the most important part of this. And people are going to see that change in you. So you have to be willing to invest in your own health and your own journey, because we don't want you to go out and sell a product that you're not fully behind and creating a story around in your own life. You get 3 websites. So you get your coach website. You don't have to house product, which is probably my favorite part about this. Like, there are so many companies out there and you might be like, how do I pick what I want to be aligned with? I'm like, I do not want to buy 700 bags of shakes and invest thousands of dollars and have them sit in my garage and have to peddle them off to my friends and make them feel bad to buy this product. Like, I want to help encourage someone, get them set up, and there's a customer care team to take care of them and get them their stuff, and I don't have to invest in that stuff before somebody's ready. My only investment is my health monthly. So whatever you think like you want to work with, you can get the workouts, you can get the, we have nutrition only programs. I know a lot of pregnant moms are like, I have to wait till after the baby. I'm like, well, you're eating for 2, let's be healthy. I used my shake as a prenatal. My doctor approved it. I think it's awesome. We have a vegan everything. So we have vegan options. when you sign up as a coach, you can earn from day one. You get 25% of commission sales. So any sales you make to any friends, any product you sell, anything you sign anybody up, you get 25%. So the commission side, and then a lot of people say, how do I earn money? So you have commission, and then it's team-based, so you can grow a business of people that want to do this too, that want to join you, and you grow a team. So I know Lizzy signed her spouse. He's really supportive, and so that's kind of how she got started and got her sister involved, and it kind of grows from there. So you grow a team and you start to earn what we call volume, and we have tons of trainings. So we have a team page. You get plugged in with one-on-one calls. You get plugged in with getting started right calls and trainings and step-by-step, like here's the next step, here's how you grow your business. You don't need a big following. I think that's a number one question is like, I don't have a lot of followers. And I like to remind people that I was homeschooled, never went to college, had 180 friends on Facebook, and didn't even have an Instagram. So if you think you need something big, you don't. We have trainings on how to find people, who to find, how to grow. Like all of that is part of the team training. And again, no home parties. You don't have to set up your weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, peddling to your friends and convincing them to come into your home with your racks of stuff. Again, you have a team page to plug into. You'll get added to a group accountability page where you can track your workouts and get that daily accountability. And then there's no pressure, like there's no obligation or penalties if you were like, I don't know if it's for me. I don't know. Like there's no penalties to like quit. You're not like, oh, $500 to cancel like a cell phone bill. You're like, oh, I want to switch companies. And they're like, okay, $800 later to cancel. So nothing like that. I will say though, to back that up, this does take consistency and effort over time. This is not a quick fix. This is not like Lizzy signed up and earned $1 million. This is about you and your journey. And it's about doing the things that I, as a mentor, have created duplication for 5 years. And if you follow that, you will see success. And if you're willing to put the work in, you will see success. But it is totally dependent on each individual's effort, and not going to be something that you're going to sign up and see instant reward, because it does take work and you have to be willing to work on yourself. So I want to make that clear, because I think a lot of people come into a business going, oh, I didn't make any money. And I'm like, well, it's been 3 days. So takes time. I think that's it. I'm so excited that you got on with me. Thank you for sharing your story. Yeah. I know it can be scary, like as a new coach, especially when you're like, I don't even know how to share my story. I don't even know what my story is yet. So if somebody's watching this, I'm just going to ask you, like, if somebody's watching this and going, I don't know, I'm terrified, or like, I don't know if I could do that, or who would be motivated by me? Because trust me, I've been there, like postpartum mom on drugs to just try to stay stable. I was like, who is going to listen to me for fitness advice? Like, we have fitness instructors and nutrition experts. You guys are not the expert. You are signing up to be a cheerleader and to change your own damn life to encourage others. But what would you say to the person that's like watching this and maybe much like you, like before you started, like, that sounds cool and I love what you're doing, but I don't know. So what would you say to them to like encourage them, or like, what would you say about your own, like, I started because, or why you should start?
I started because I wanted to change the way I felt about my body, but then the community and the like-minded women, that's what made me want to stay, and that's what made me want to start growing a business, was because the people that you meet and just helping people, and period, is just the best feeling ever. Yeah. It is scary. It is scary at first, and it can be overwhelming, but when you just listen to the trainings and you follow what you're supposed to do, and you're just consistent. Consistency is just what is going to help you a lot.
Yeah. I did want to mention too, like, even as a coach, so like you're working on your journey, you get 25% off all your products too. So like, as it was like a no-brainer for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to save money. Like, heck yes, I'm going to sign up. Even if I don't sell a damn thing, I'm going to save on my stuff. So I like to pinch pennies. I was definitely the one that's like, oh, I'm putting this on the credit card. I can't afford it. Like, cool. Yeah. Get me the discount. So yeah, you're like not out anything. Like, it literally, I'm like, worst case scenario, you sign up as a coach and don't grow this business at all, is you save money on your products. You meet a badass community of women that want to support your journey, and you're not alone in it anymore. So that's literally worst case. Best case, you grow a bomb ass business and you get out of debt or reach your goals or quit that job you want, whatever. But I would just say, don't wait. Like, I feel like I waited and it was only like a couple months, but I'm like, gosh, if I just dove in, and I'm not going to beat myself up, but like, waiting isn't going to get you anywhere. Like waiting
Right.
is going to get you nowhere. And you're going to keep watching Lizzy grow, and you're going to watch me grow. And maybe you're going to sit for a year and be like, oh, I should have started. Like just dive in, right?
Yep.
You're not going to know.
Dive in.
You're not going to understand it all when you've never done it. So just dive in, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to end this, but we are recording. So if you think of somebody that you want to send this to, please reach out to the coach. If you're like, I'm ready to do this, let's rock, like tell me logistics of how to get set up, just reach out to the coach that invited you, and we'll kind of help you, whether Lizzy invited you to this or somebody else. We'll kind of help you walk through how to get started on the team. We are enrolling for our squad. We do one-on-one mentorship so we can get you plugged in right away. We just need to know what your goals are so we can help you get started in the best way possible. So reach out to that coach, ask your final questions, and we'll help you get plugged in. Everybody have a great night, day. I don't even know what time it is. Have a good one.
All right.